The Tipping Point with Mike Tipton is brought to you by Dubby. What is Dubby? Dubby is a clean energy drink that is made to give you focus with no crash, jitters, or angst like those other energy drinks have. They also have no maltodextrin fillers and don't use artificial dyes. Dubby contains vitamins, amino acids, a nootropic, and 150 milligrams of caffeine. Dubby's products are made in the USA in an FDA-inspected facility that strictly adheres to GMP manufacturing guidelines. All of the flavors are unique and custom-made by Dubby, and you'll never taste our taste anywhere else. The best part about it is they're affordable. Dubby's drinks come out to about $1 per drink, much cheaper than Starbucks or any of those canned energy drinks. To learn more, visit w.gg.com/discount/MRTipton33 and place your order today. Use promo code MrTipton33 and save today. Dubby Energy, be better. What's going on, everybody? I want to tell you about my new friends over at Cleverman. Visit them online at becleverman.com. What they gave me was the energizing face and beard scrub along with the Cleverman face scrubber. And trust me when I say this, the energizing face and beard scrub smells amazing. Combining it with the face scrubber, making sure that your boy was looking as good and as sexy as possible, opened up a whole different sensation in my face that I haven't ever felt before. I felt so clean, so fresh, and so clean, like Outkast said, and it helped me feel like I was ready for my day. Make sure you visit them online at becleverman.com and follow them on Instagram at clevermannyc. The link is up in my bio if you want to check out all the amazing products they have. Visit them online, becleverman.com. It is time once again for the Tipping Point with Mike Tipton, hanging out with you here on a Tuesday morning. Shout out to everybody that has woken up early today in the El Paso area to tune into this show, like my dude Tommy Carranza saying good morning, Tip. And then, of course, our guy Gary Bryant over on the East Coast saying, what's up, Tip? What's up, chat? What's up, Gary? Hope that you're having a good time. Glad to see you back once again after our short hiatus that we had. I don't even know if I can call it short. It was rather lengthy. Your boy had some adult responsibilities to take care of. But nonetheless, we're back. I'm not going to say better than ever because it's probably worse than it's ever been before because we're starting over from the bottom. But now we're here, luckily, able to keep some of our sponsors. Look at that. All it takes is a little bit of sweet talking. You're able to keep some of your sponsors around. Nonetheless, though, thank you all so much for tuning in to a show this early in the morning. Not a whole lot going on in the world, so I want to see what you guys want to talk about. Remember, you got to lead the conversation. If you're new to the show, you lead the conversation. I just follow. You give me topics, I kind of follow the topics around. But where I'm going to start today is a place that I know is near and dear to the heart of my guy, Tommy Carranza, watching his Boston Red Sox get absolutely annihilated last night. Their guy, one of the best pitchers in baseball, at least over the last couple of years, Garrett Crochet, getting absolutely rocked, made me beyond happy. As a Yankees fan, just beyond happy. 9 hits, 11 runs. It goes to show you how bad the defense for the Red Sox is. Arga Daha, I'm bad with pronouncing names. I'm sorry. You say hello, I say hi back. Hope you're doing well. Over on YouTube, the YouTube channel. I do like that you have like the vertical and then like the normal landscape one. That's what YouTube is giving me now. I don't know. Maybe we'll go back to doing it again on Instagram. We'll see about that. The Instagram stuff was a little odd for your boy. at that point in time. But nonetheless, it's all right. Garrett Crochet and the Boston Red Sox getting absolutely rocked. You're Indonesian? Hey, what's up? Glad to see people from outside the United States tuning into the show. There was a time, and this is so funny to me. Whenever I was doing radio here in El Paso, Texas, obviously doing the live stream, doing the radio show, doing all that stuff, this show somehow, some way, was the #1 sports podcast in Saudi Arabia for 2 months. 2 months, the #1 sports podcast in Saudi Arabia. So if you could make me the #1 sports podcast in Indonesia, I'll be happy with that too. So thank you so much for tuning in. Our dude B Strilla saying, what's good, Tip? Good morning, Strilla. Hope that you're having yourself a fantastic day today, my friend. I'm talking about the Boston Red Sox right now, getting absolutely rocked. Tommy Canazza saying, LOL, the Saudis love you, Tip. Hey, very similar facial features. Very similar facial features. Whenever I lived in Connecticut, there was a gas station that I would go to all the time. And the only reason why I kept going to it is because like I would go in and I get like a Dr. Pepper and old boy would give me like an extra snack and stuff. And one of these days I was like, hey, my dude, like I appreciate it. Don't get me wrong, but like, why are you being so nice? And he was like, oh, us Egyptians got to stick together. And I was like, I'm Puerto Rican, but I'll be Egyptian, right? So I'm like, yeah, man, we've got to. We got to stick together. Like it's us, just us Egyptians. We got to make sure we're sticking together. So he kept giving me free stuff. Hopefully he never sees this. I feel like I would have betrayed a confidence with him. Very Mediterranean. I did the DNA test, right? And I found out that 1, I am 100% that Tip. And then 2, that there's like no Mediterranean, well, I guess Spaniard, right? But like everyone's thinking like the eastern part of the Mediterranean, like Turkish and, you know, all that type of stuff. There's none of that in here. It's just like Spanish and a fair amount of French, which I was very surprised about. Maybe it explains why je parle français en beaucoup, right? Like, so there we go. Man. But again, I loved it. And then knowing that it was to like the Minnesota Twins, it's so good. I think the Twins are going to be halfway decent this year. Strilla, I haven't gotten to do much on baseball. Obviously, I'm doing something a little different with baseball these days. So I haven't been able to like keep up with the major league teams outside of just the Yankees and the Padres. 100% that Tip, baby. It was like, oh, I'm trying to remember who's saying that. Lizzo. Turns out I'm 100% that Tip. Well, let's look at the MLB standings real quick. Been a while since I've been able to like look at all these things. Doing my own little thing in my own little world. I don't even know how good my Yankees are doing right now. I just know that they win a lot because of the New York Yankees. Jesus Christ. The Red Sox are bad, huh? The Red Sox 6-10, bottom of the division. A 375 win percentage, looking like what my grades were in high school. The Toronto Blue Jays 6-9. Nice. Tampa Bay 8-7, Baltimore 9-7, New York 9-7. Minnesota 10-7. They're pretty good. I said it, man. They're pretty good. Detroit, surprised about it. I thought Detroit would be a little better. Obviously, it's early in the season. They're 7-9. It's not too bad. But I mean, there's expectations for that Detroit Tigers team. We're talking. I'm texting one of my friends right now. Y'all know he's a producer. They were swept by the Rays. LOLs. The Yankees, that is. I mean, you know what? The Rays aren't bad, right? Like the Rays are a solid team. They're second in the AL East. They could be a sleeper. I remember as a kid, like younger me would have hated losing to the Tampa Bay Rays. Would have hated it because they were so bad for so long. And what was it, like 2008 or something like that? They like whenever they got Evan Longoria and Carl Crawford and all them, like they were halfway decent. But man, like I hate it. Anytime it could be like a regular season game, And if you lost to the Tampa Bay Rays, I just felt like it was the end of the world because of how bad they were. That's just like an overall poverty-ass franchise. Still saying it is still early in the season. What? We've got, we'll call it less than 20 games played, so we still got 145 games left to play this year? No, it's not early at all. All these games are important. You live and die with every single pitch that happens in baseball. We treat it just like football because they're so important. They're so important. Although I would say this, getting through 16 games, that's, 10% of the season. So it's almost as though we've played a game and a half in the NFL. I mean, if your team starts off 0-1 and they're looking like dog shit in the first half of the next game, you're not happy. I know a lot of Chicago Bears fans that were that way last year. I got yelled at by a Chicago Bears fan last year. It was wild. I was like, hey, it's still early in the season. Man, all you Cowboys fans. Whoa, I'm just trying to say it was early in the season. But yes, we have played 1/10 of the season so far for Major League Baseball. How quick time flies. Now, you guys can see kind of how I look at baseball, right? It's all about homestands, and it's all about like little percentages that you can say are done. That was a thing I learned from the military. You just take it day by day, hour by hour sometimes. The way we did it, basic training, meal by meal by meal. You wake up, you run, exercise, go eat breakfast. Hey, you've already made it through your first meal. More exercise, more running. Now it's hotter than Satan's asshole. You go get lunch. And we're not talking about like extended lunches, right? Like if you were sitting down for 10 minutes, there was something wrong with y'all. Beast Drill saying the season doesn't start until after the All-Star game. I think Tommy would dispute you on that and say that the season doesn't start until the playoffs, or at least around the playoffs. Tommy is one of the weirdest like baseball fans that I've come across. Like, he loves his Red Sox, but he will not watch games. At least I'm maybe I'm projecting. I'm pretending like you don't watch games. I just got an alert right here, and it's so sad that Augustine isn't here. I could have talked about this. The CONCACAF and Netflix have agreed to a 4-year licensing agreement. Wow. Got my dude Bo tuning in, giving us a little thumbs up. If you haven't checked it out, Football Talk with Bo, doing some amazing stuff, hanging out yesterday at the official Seattle Storm watch party up in Seattle. I love watching what my dude Bo is doing all the time, because it's cool to see people go through this, man. Like everyone knows, Tommy especially knows, the ebbs and flows that I've had in this career doing all this stuff, being in a sports desert, a literal sports desert, where I am 6 hours away? 6 hours away from the nearest professional team? Well, major league team. We have professional sports here in El Paso with the El Paso Locomotive and the El Paso Chihuahuas. The El Paso Locomotive back in action this Saturday as we convert our baseball stadium into a soccer stadium. Come check it out. If you can't check it out, we're going to be all over the place, streaming everywhere else like that. You can check out that game, the broadcast, all that stuff this Saturday with the El Paso Locomotive. And then next week, the El Paso Chihuahuas back in town as well for their second homestand. It's going to be awesome. Tommy is saying September is about the time I'll tune in. There's too many damn games. There's too many damn games. Bistro saying Bo knows media podcasting. I love those. I think we're old enough to remember that, right? Like those Bo Jackson commercials. I don't know how many other people. And like, I also feel you have to be like a hardcore sports fan to know those Bo Jackson commercials. Or maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just an asshole or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, but Bo does know. Bo does know podcasting. Bo does have himself a good old time. I thought Bo had a show on right now. But again, I've been out of it so much that I don't even know schedules anymore. Time does not exist in any plane of the world that I am in at this moment, just because there is no way whatsoever that it can happen. But as I was saying, I got a friend. He's one of the producers at ESPN, Pat Costello. He gets dunked on all the time. It makes me sad. It makes me sad. There we go. Bo saying he just wrapped up his morning show. So look at that. I'm not so bad. I'm not so bad with time. We're getting there. But he gets dunked on all the time by Evan, Michelle, and Canty and all them, right? Like, so my dude goes to a concert by himself. He's a single dude. Me and James, I would like to say, are two of his closest friends. I clearly live well across the country from Connecticut. James, obviously older, has a family, things like that. Going to a concert by yourself, I don't feel like is a bad thing. Like, I feel like I've done that before. Obviously, you want to go with friends, but if you don't have friends to go with, or your friends can't go, there ain't no problem in going by yourself. I just feel bad. And then I was like, maybe we should take you to a concert, right? Like maybe that's what we should do. Plan a trip where I go to Connecticut once again and then go to a concert. Because I got no problem going to like a basketball game by myself. I'm sure I'll find somebody that I can talk to, right? Or even a football game or any of that other stuff. I would not mind. I appreciate my solitude. Maybe that's just me. I am so much fun. I don't need to be around other people as evidenced by this show. But there's no one else here with me. Bo saying those Bo Knows commercials were great. We've got to like create a whole segment where we replace Bo Jackson with you. Like the same old 1980s grainy footage, but with you. I think that's what we've got to do from now on. Beast Drill saying like old times. I got to try to remember what we were talking about right there. Tommy Kanatsa saying, I'll watch certain games, but I'm not watching all those damn games. I'm the same way. Obviously, I have to watch a lot more now, but I mean, prior, like I would watch, I would watch as many Yankees Red Sox series as I can. Then if the Yankees were because I really like the Apple TV broadcast for baseball. So if the Yankees were on Apple TV over the last couple of years, I would watch that as well. Like I'm the same way. I don't watch every single baseball game. I don't think there's any way anybody could, unless you are an absolute recluse and you have no life whatsoever. Bo saying that's part of getting older, being okay by yourself. My dude, I was that way as a kid. I'm the youngest of 11. Enough said. Way too many people in my house. I appreciate and love my solitude. I need my solitude. Youngest of 11, we had like 4 bedrooms. Your boy used to have to sleep on the floor of the living room or sometimes my parents' bedroom. If I got in trouble, I had to sleep in my parents' bedroom on the floor in a sleeping bag. In a house right next to a canal. So there were roaches all over the place. Loved whenever I can just get into a room by myself. Just loved it. There's nothing more disgusting. And like I am, years removed from being a child at my parents' house, and I can still feel the legs of the roach crawling on me. And they weren't like, we ain't talking about like little roaches. We're talking about water bugs, baby. Like them big ass roaches just crawling on me because of the way that we grew up in such a country ass house. God, I sound like I grew up in the Great Depression. My dad did. Maybe that's the reason why, our house didn't have, insulation. All the things that you need in order for your house to be okay. Beast Drill saying Bo Knows Seattle? I do like that. Oh, Bo, you've got to make it happen. You've got to make it happen. Like I will. You get the footage. I'll do a voiceover if I have to. But you've got to go at like every arena in Seattle, and like we'll create like a Bo Knows Seattle type thing. Even if it's not every arena, like around every fan base. Beast Drill saying I have no siblings and I still like my solitude. Yeah, I mean, it's the only way it could be, man. It is legitimately the only way it could be. Tommy saying, LMAO, I feel you. I mean, damn, dude. I am, I think about it all the time too, because I remember I can't remember where I was, but like I heard somebody saying, like, if you see a 40-year-old man and he's at a bar by himself, do you feel bad for him? And the entire time, like growing up, I was like, no, of course not. He's doing his thing. Yesterday, I had a shorter day at work. Did what I got to do, left work, went to Famous Dave's. I wanted some barbecue, so I went to Famous Dave's, hung out at the bar, had my AirPods in, drinking a beer, eating some barbecue right before I go get a massage. God, that sounds pretentious, but it's a VA massage, so it's not like a real massage. You know what I mean? Like I get the shit beat out of me, but it makes me feel good. Maybe that also says more about me than it probably should. Said a lot more about myself right now, revealing more of the tip to y'all than what I wanted to. But I'm sitting at the bar, just listening to a podcast, watching like whatever sports show they had going on the TVs and stuff like that. And I was happy. Like it was the happiest I'd been. I'm sure my facial expression doesn't show it, but I had, a big ass, 26-ounce beer, swallowing down those Miller Lights. It was a good time. I go to a bar by myself. I'm a happy guy. Don't judge me. It just means nobody loves me. Oh, man. Exactly. Both saying if I'm at a restaurant or a bar by myself, it's on purpose. I am the exact same way, right? Like my job, downtown El Paso, everyone likes to eat in a certain area at work. And I know if I wanted to, I can go down there and eat with everybody if I wanted to. I leave work, one, because I'm OCD about I don't like eating while I'm at work. It feels like you're at the same place. It was a thing I did in the military. I would leave like wherever it was just to go like 20 minutes away, then come back within like, another 10 minutes. I will walk around downtown El Paso by myself aimlessly, following my big ass, apparently Egyptian nose to find what's going to be good. I should have said Toucan Sam nose because that would have been funny. But I went racist for whatever reason. I apologize to my Egyptian community. But I'll just like walk around aimlessly. And if people want to join me, people can join me. But if I'm just there by myself, I'm there by myself for a reason. I just need to get away. Well, I want to be away. Let me enjoy my meal in peace. You know how many meals I have to eat with my children asking me 1,000 questions? I just want to eat in silence. There are times I'll have my AirPods in, not even listening to anything. I just don't want people to talk to me. Except for you guys. You see me out there, you come over, you say what's up to me, I might even buy you a drink. I'm going to buy you a drink. Not like that, though. Not like that. Well, maybe like that. It just depends. Depends on how the conversation goes. You got to wine and dine me a little bit. Give me a couple of compliments. Maybe I'll feel good. This show's going off the rails real quick. It's been a while. Did y'all miss this? There's no way in hell that y'all could have missed this. The ADHD brain of mine, I guess. I don't even know if I can call it that because I can get back on track whenever I want. But it's just the way it goes. I've got to learn how to have a filter one of these days. One of these days, I'll grow up. It's not now. All right, so yesterday was the WNBA draft. I know we don't talk a lot about the WNBA on here, just because anytime I try to talk basketball, for the most part, I get shut down. But I do love me some WNBA. If you know anything about me, I watch basketball no matter what the basketball is. I am one of those people that just loves watching basketball. But I'm watching the WNBA draft like that. And I was super surprised because, again, I don't watch a lot of college basketball because there's real basketball going on at that time. And it was awesome to see that UCLA had 5 players drafted in the first round of the WNBA draft, and then another player, a 6th player, in the second round of the draft. It was awesome to watch. It is awesome to watch. Bistro saying off the rails. It's been off the rails. It always goes off the rails. I love it. LOL, says Tommy. I've had one of the stranger, rides in sports media. I love it, though. I genuinely do love it. And I love and appreciate that y'all are willing and, I was going to say able, but that doesn't seem right. But you are willing participants in the organized chaos that this show winds up becoming. The self-deprecating part of what this show winds up becoming. Bo, if you're still there, were you happy with who the Seattle Storm drafted? What are your thoughts on the Seattle Storm? I do know you do go out there and cover a lot of the WNBA stuff in the city of Seattle. I am glad. You know what? That's been something that we haven't been able to talk about. It's been a while. But I was glad, what was it, a couple of weeks ago, when the announcement was made that the NBA is looking at expansion. They're looking at Vegas. We already knew that. But they're also looking at expansion to Seattle, going back to Seattle, because the NBA is missing a little something, right? You might have had whatever team you loved back in the day, like me as a Spurs fan, me loving Michael Jordan and all that, but you always just loved the name and the color scheme of the Seattle Supersonics. It was so good. I love the alliteration of it, Seattle Supersonics. Like, it's so good. I know, I think like in the 2000s, people just started referring to them as just the Sonics. No. You've got to be the Supersonics. So knowing that Seattle might wind up getting a team back is very exciting. But I don't know if I want them to bring back the Supersonics, right? Like, they've got to come up with something else. But then it's also going to feel weird having a basketball team in Seattle that's not the Supersonics. And then I think they would have to contact Oklahoma City about getting permission to use the name Sonics, right? Like, that's kind of the way that it goes. Whenever the Texans became an expansion franchise, they had to contact the Kansas City Chiefs and be like, yo, we're going to use this Texans name. Are y'all cool with it? And the Chiefs were like, yeah, sure, whatever. Both saying the Seattle Storm would be interesting to watch. I am going to be interested in watching my girl, Angel Reese. I love the fact that I could put out a video, just anything Angel Reese related or Caitlin Clark related, and it gets thousands of views on Instagram. I love rage baiting people. I have been called a racist and a ghetto piece of trash on the exact same post, and I love that nobody gets the joke. It makes me so happy. So happy. Bo saying they'll be the Sonics if it actually goes through. We got to keep our name and history based on the lawsuit in 2008. You see, there you go. Learning new things. Bo knows Seattle, literally knows all of it. Everything about Seattle. He knows it. That is cool. And it would be cool. Like, I guess it would be cool. You get the Sonics back. Color scheme. It's kind of like whenever the Hornets left, they became the Pelicans and they go back and become the Hornets again. Like, it would be cool to have the Sonics back. And I guess if you get to keep the history, so does that mean Oklahoma City only has the one championship? Because I thought they got to keep, like, that's part of their history, right? Or did they treat it as like a brand new expansion team? Huh. Bo saying the Dream will dominate the boards. I agree with you 100%. Like, it's one of the funnier things to me where people hate on Angel Reese, but also hate on the NBA. And they're like, oh, people don't play fundamental basketball the way they used to. Her game is nothing but fundamentals. Like, it's not so flashy. Maybe the personality is, but she's a very Dennis Rodman-like player. And everyone loves a Dennis Rodman-like player. I don't understand where the hate and vitriol comes from. But I'm just some guy. I'm not paid to understand those types of things. It's just me. Just me being little old me. Not understanding any of those things. I'm looking at an article on ESPN. It just like refreshed right now. And it says, Paul Skeens and Tarek Skubal on the art of pitching. My theory is that you can do whatever you want with a baseball. If you have that kind of arm talent, you can do whatever the hell you want with a baseball. But if you're just some regular ass dude like me, no, you don't get to do that. OKC are treated as a new franchise. You see, I did not know that. With all the basketball stuff, admittedly, I cannot stand the Oklahoma City Thunder. I cannot stand their fan base. And it's not because of like Shea Gilgeous-Alexander now. It's just they always felt so entitled. And they would win like a preseason game against the Spurs back whenever I was in the military still, and it'd be like, oh, the Spurs suck. The Spurs are awful. I have never, ever in my life come across a fan base that hated on the San Antonio Spurs, except for the Oklahoma City Thunder. And I had to think about what it is that made the Oklahoma City Thunder hate the San Antonio Spurs fan base so much. And I think it's because whenever they pull their pants down, all they see is just the tip.
I just want to put the tip in.
It's time for
Just the Tip.
That would make me uncomfortable.
Promise that it ain't too much, but just enough. Just a tip. Just a tip.
Just the tip. Just the tip.
It's time for Just the Tip.
Just the Tip is brought to you by our friends over at www.myhappynuts.com. It doesn't matter if you're slinging that meat or if you've got a small little chode like an Oklahoma City Thunders fan. www.myhappynuts.com is exactly what you need to make sure you are feeling your absolute best down there for whoever you've got in your life. And if you don't have anybody in your life, do it for yourself. The best thing you can do is invest in yourself and your happiness. www.myhappynuts.com. Use promo code Mike Tipton at checkout and save on all your male grooming needs. I am clipping that one. That was a funny one. Bo saying, as a Sonics fan, I want them to lose forever. I agree with you 100%, but not as a Sonics fan, as a Spurs fan. I cannot stand that franchise. I cannot stand I've been to Oklahoma City. My mother was from Oklahoma, and I still just cannot stand the Oklahoma City Thunder. Tommy's saying they do suck, giving me some laughing emojis. It's because you're a Spurs fan, Tip. That's why you see their fan bases as overinflated hostility. I guess so. The dyslexia is coming back. It's been a while since I've had to read things, so the dyslexia came back a little hard on me there. But I guess I don't like Oklahoma City Thunder fans. I don't like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander being like a free throw merchant. I can't remember where I was, but like I heard someone comparing like how great Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's game is and all this other stuff and blah, 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 blah. And I sat here and thought to myself, these are the same people that hate on James Harden. The Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is James Harden 2.0. Let's not forget like the MVP seasons of James Harden, where he was just going out there being a free throw merchant, getting 35 points a game, but 20 of them are off of free throws, right? Like it's not fun to watch. And maybe that's just me being a hating ass hater. I love what Victor Wembanyama does with the San Antonio Spurs. He plays the game the right way. I also love that Wemby has like that Jordan-esque, I am going to take everything super seriously. Whenever it was the NBA All-Star game and Wemby's out there trying to like dominate this All-Star game because he wanted it to be competitive, I absolutely loved that. Loved every minute of that. Bo saying he's got to run. Have a great day, bro. Have a great day as well, Bo. Thank you for stopping by. Monday through Friday, most of the time we're going to be here 8 o'clock. There are a few Wednesdays that I'm not going to be able to do it. I guess that's 7 o'clock your time. My God. Bistro says, it's cool, though. My girl loves the Spurs, and they are my second team. I love that, right? Like, I do. Again, like, I guess it's because of certain time frames that I grew up. Like, there's those teams that you respect. Detroit's one of those teams I loved. I know a lot of people didn't, but I loved that 2004, 2005 NBA championship between the Spurs and the Pistons. It was a defensive battle that came down to the wire. Those teams were just so well matched together. Ben Wallace trying to hold down Tim Duncan. Like, it was so good. I love that. Like, I gained so much respect for that. So, like, seeing the Pistons as the number 1 seed right now, thinking to myself, maybe we get a Spurs-Pistons matchup in the NBA Finals. But I also want the Spurs-Celtics matchup. That's something I've wanted for such a long time, just because I'm used to the Spurs beating up the LA Lakers. Whenever you can beat up teams that have a lot of history, it makes me happy. That's also why I'm the hating ass hater that I am. Just hating on everything. Shout out to my dude, Danny Luke, who tuned in right now. Just got an email about having to send a fireworks track, so I just remembered, got to mix down a fireworks track. If you were there on Saturday for the El Paso Chihuahuas first game as the Matachines, one, great logo. If you haven't seen that logo, I got a couple of hats. I probably should have worn it today. But great logo, great marketing, great merchandising right there. The fireworks show we put together for y'all, I'm just going to go out there and say it. The best I've ever seen. The best I've ever seen. We were thinking to ourselves, how are we going to top this throughout the rest of the year on all our fireworks shows? Yep. And thanks to Rashid leaving Ori at the 3-point line. LOL. That to me is like the most egregious thing that you could have done in basketball at that time, was have a late game situation and leave Robert Ori, of all people, wide open. I remember she did it. Chris Webber did it whenever Robert Ori was on the Lakers in a Western Conference Finals game as well, where the Kings probably would have won that series had not Robert Ori hit that shot. It is wild. Tommy's saying the Chihuahuas changed their name? LOL. They have specific events that they do. Minor league baseball, major league baseball is great at embracing the Latino culture and stuff like that. So prior to being the Matachines, the Chihuahuas were the Margaritas. Because if you don't know, the margarita lore says that it was made in this area. There's a bar right over the bridge in Juarez called Kentucky Bar that claims to be the very first home of the margarita. So this area was the home of the margarita. So for a long time during this Copa stuff, we were called the Margaritas. It's like a Mexican Heritage Night or like Hispanic Heritage Night, right? Like what you see in the NBA all the time. This year, they changed it up a little bit, and they went with the Matachines. And I don't have that hat in here because I wore it on Saturday, but I love the color scheme for it. As a matter of fact, I'll just look it up. I love the color scheme for it. Looking it up, filibustering, not going to have any silence. There we go. And of course the hats, because you know me, I love me my hats. Boom. All right. Tommy's saying Chihuahuas is not Mexican enough? LOL. No, I mean, it's, you know, it's the dog, it's the desert, it's all that stuff. The Chihuahuan desert that we live in. No, we needed it to be more Mexican, Tommy. Okay? More Latino, more Hispanic. That's not great. That the resolution on that picture, I probably should have done a better job. But I do like the color scheme. The like Carolina blue, the pink, the white, like it does look really awesome. You can see they have like the Chihuahua head on there, so it's still a little bit of something. I like that. And then, of course, to me, you all know I love me my hats. These are a couple of hats right here. Again, the resolution isn't good. I've got that doesn't do it good. I don't like that. We're going to take that back. It is cool. Like they have the blue, like that baby blue. They have that in like the jersey. And then they also have like a pink version of it. It's really awesome. God, I think I have that hat right over here. Give me a second. Not professional at all. There we go. There you go. The hat looks so much better than that picture did. And I got both hats. I got the blue one and I got the pink one, but I have the pink one right here right now. This to me, I genuinely do like this look. I'm normally not someone who loves the the changing in identities. I guess, you know what? I can't say that. I guess I am someone who loves that because I have the San Antonio Spurs, or not the San Antonio Spurs, the San Antonio Missions become the Flying Chanclas. I got that hat over there as well. The Round Rock Express become the Chupacabras, which, my God, how did we not get that name? And I'm trying to remember. And then Albuquerque, who we played this weekend, were the Mariachis. So it was awesome to like see those things. I want to see if this image will be a little bit better. Let's get rid of that. I know like I sound like I am, you know, a company man or anything like that, but Tommy, you probably know better than anyone else. Every single year, I buy a different El Paso Chihuahuas hat. I'll probably go a couple of months, and then I'll get like another one. I just love the marketing that they've done. I probably have more El Paso Chihuahuas hats than I have anything else, and it is a shit ton. I could probably do a whole month wearing a different hat for how much money I've spent at that stadium. So I'm glad they hired me. So that way now I can at least get some of my money back. Getting a little bit back on my investment. Look at that. The dividend, it's finally paying off. My long-term plan is finally paying off. Shrill saying, I like that, but I would go with the blue. Well, you got something against men wearing pink? Is that what this is? I do like the blue. Like, again, I'm as someone who loves Carolina blue, that Carolina blue looks great. I have this one. I wore this. I'm going to rotate them. So whenever we have our Copa nights, oh, we got to get that fixed, Tommy. We got to get that fixed. You let me know. You let me know the next time you've got a couple of days off. Obviously, they're out of town this week. And I will get you some tickets, my dude. We will take care of that. I can get you up to 4 tickets. You let me know. I got you. And then we can go get some adult beverages afterwards because I need them after these games. Strill saying, no, I just don't like pink, but you pull it off. I think that's the thing, right? Like it's, how do I say this without sounding like an asshole? I think it's harder for like a white man to pull off pink because it almost blends. Whereas like a darker person can pull it off because it doesn't blend, if that makes sense. Or I'm about to get canceled. One of the two. It's one of the two. Tommy's saying, I am down. Hey, cool. Let me know a day. I will get you tickets for that day. I will. I shouldn't even have to share the calendar. You can look at the calendar. You can look it up. You can find the El Paso Chihuahuas schedule at milb.com/schedule El Paso Chihuahuas. You'll be able to find it there. And you can figure out what games you want to go to. But I will make sure you got some good tickets, my dude. I will make sure of that. It is a party at that stadium. I guess I was the same way. I never got to go to Dudley Field because obviously I think it got knocked down in like the 90s, right? I was a small kid. I didn't have the ability to. My parents didn't care about sports. I think I went to Cohen once in high school. And then I came back to El Paso for a small period of time in 2005. And I was helping out with like batting practice. So I was the like pitcher for batting practice, but they weren't a minor league team anymore. They were an independent league team. And they just needed someone who threw left-handed to fill in whenever they had left-handed pitchers that they were facing. And I got to do that for a couple months, maybe weeks. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it wasn't that long. So yeah, just a little bit there, throwing them that lefty fastball, that meatball of mine. Tommy's saying, I used to go watch the Diablos at Cohen all the time. I lived really close and would sneak in. I think that's the best thing, man. Like, I hear so many stories of people that would be like, yeah, I would just sneak in because if like I could run to my house if I needed to, and they couldn't catch me. I'm like, I grew up in Socorro. That would have been like a 30-mile run. That wasn't going to happen for me. And yes, those 25-cent hot dogs. That's always the thing that people tell me about the 25-cent hot dogs. We do have now at the stadium. It's called Bargain Bites. Wow, I really feel like I'm marketing the stadium now, and I need to stop. But it's a thing called Bargain Bites, and it's basically like a value meal. So you can get XYZ for $4, $5, or $6. So it's worth going out there and checking out. It really is. And Strilla, I know you said you were going to be here more than likely whenever the season is over. But if you could find your way over here, Strilla, during the season, I got you too. I love showing off El Paso as much as I can. Everyone always asks me, why did I stay? I could have left. I had that second opportunity to go back to ESPN back in 2022. Why didn't you leave? I love El Paso, man. I want to put my city on the map. I want to be here to experience, whenever El Paso goes to where we all know it should be. It's the 19th largest city in the country. It's about damn time we start acting like it. USA. Although a park over downtown is not smart. If you don't know what I'm talking about there, the city voted to build like a park over overpasses along I-10 in the downtown area, which doesn't seem smart, one, and two, why? Just there's other places to build a park. Over the street doesn't seem like a smart idea to me. I know it's called like a sky park or some random crazy shit like that. But I see the vision. I see where we're going with this. I don't think that's it. All I think about is the amount of people that would just be like, hey, I wonder if I could jump off this thing and land on a car Fast and Furious style. It's all about family. I don't think I've really spoken about sports today. Holy shit. What do you guys want to talk about? Ask me questions. Get me back on track. We got to figure all this out. The NFL. I put it in my little rundown here. We know the Dallas Cowboys have 2 draft picks in the first round this year. And along with those 2 draft picks in the first round, the Dallas Cowboys, to me, have been drafting very, very well. We've drafted multiple Pro Bowlers in the first round. In the draft, it's been great for the Dallas Cowboys. You trade Micah Parsons, you find a way to bring in Quinnen Williams. You kind of shored up that defensive line a little bit, the interior of that defensive line, but you didn't really address the pass rush. Jadeveon Clowney, who came in late into the season, winds up leading the team in sacks. That's not who you want. So if I'm the Dallas Cowboys, yes, I know just based off of history that whenever we have a really good offensive season, it's followed by a mediocre offensive season. I want to find a way where the Dallas Cowboys can get balance. And I feel like the only way the Dallas Cowboys can get that balance is by just going all in, legitimately, not Jerry Jones all in, not Oklahoma City Thunder fan all in, but going all in and just focusing in on the defensive side of the ball. Offensively, I think you've got this. You got to find a way to make sure everyone is happy on that offense. It's going to be a volatile season this year, I feel, but it feels like we're going to be like they're right there. And maybe I'm looking at them from a completely different lens because I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, and maybe I'm blinded to the fact that maybe they're not as good as I think they are. Tommy's saying not so good the last few years, but overall they're good. They're a good drafting team. They really are. I could see why the Mozzie Smith thing. That's not a good look for the Dallas Cowboys. Taco Charlton, let's not forget about him. But like you've got, yeah. I don't think that they're a Super Bowl contending team, but I think that they're a playoff caliber team if they can just get that defense to be right, to be okay, not historically bad like they were this past season, but just be okay. And once you get to the playoffs, hell, anything can happen. None of us would have had the Seattle Seahawks being led by Sam Darnold, of all people, as the team that would have won the Super Bowl, right? But they make it to the playoffs, they do their thing, and they go and they win the Super Bowl. Strillo saying, yeah, Michigan players don't do well in Dallas. Yeah, we've noticed that. They have to hit a home run with these two first round picks, is what Tommy is saying. I think that's the thing that sucks, right? Like, to me, every team has to hit a home run on your first round pick. Every single one of them has to hit a home run on your first round pick. But I feel like there's always more added pressure on the Dallas Cowboys when it comes to what are we going to do with these draft picks. Fair or not, it is the reality that they live in, right? Because they are a quote-unquote America's team and they got all that stuff going for them and whatever. The marketing machine that is the Dallas Cowboys puts all that added pressure that I don't think necessarily needs to be there. But it's there, and that's just the way that it goes. So I want to see the Dallas Cowboys, again, just focus in on the defensive side of the ball. You don't need to worry about there's a part of it I still do worry about the offensive side of the ball. I don't know if Javonte Williams is going to be as good this year running the ball as he was last year. You know what I mean? Like, that's where I'm kind of – but I still just want them to focus in on the defense. Tip, if you get to pick 12 and you're wiped on defense, do you take the best offensive player on the board? Man, I feel like you kind of have to. Or what I would do, and I know, again, it's not the sexiest thing, but I'm all about like team building and stuff like that. If you're not sold 1,000% on that offensive player or who that defensive player is, there's no harm in trading back, right? Like you're picking at 12. Maybe you get, whoever's picking at 16 wants a specific player that might be taken at 13. So maybe you talk to them, you get their 16th pick along with another second round pick or something like that. Now you've stacked up draft picks, right? I'm one of those people that no matter what, if I have the number one overall pick, I am trading that motherfucker as much as I possibly can, right? Unless there's a guy like I know that I absolutely am in love with, I am trading that number one overall pick. Because to me, what you can get back in return for that draft pick is so much more valuable than that one singular draft pick, right? Like if you're the Las Vegas Raiders, you're more than Fernando Mendoza away from being a contender, from being a team that people actually give a damn about. You're so much further away. So why not allow a team like Miami, right, to trade up, get some draft picks from Miami who could use a young quarterback who's from Miami, just thought of that, has some talent on the team and could be a playoff team. But I'm just looking at it like this, like you got to know what you want, what your team needs. And then you've got to just, to me, focus in on that. You're talking about what if Jeremiah Love was on the board? If Jeremiah Love was on the board, I would probably take him at 12. Because, again, like I said, my biggest question mark for the Dallas Cowboys going into this season is going to be the running game, which was very solid for them this past season. But running game doesn't necessarily translate year to year. So I would like to have a little more dynamic of a runner, and Jeremiah Love is that kind of guy. So maybe. Like that would be my one caveat, right? Like if Love is there, yes, I take him. If Love is gone and all the guys I wanted on defense are gone, and you have the best overall, offensive player there. If it's like a wide receiver, probably not taking him. If he's a tight end, definitely not taking him. Offensive line, maybe we have a discussion. But if you don't have what you really want there, there's no harm in trading back, at least for me. Unless it's like you're trading back in your division, in which case don't ever do that shit. Or the 49ers. I would be the worst GM for the 49ers to ever contact. They'd be like, hey, can we? Nope. Just hang that phone up. We're not doing this nonsense with you guys. You never play ball with us. Yeah. Yeah. Wonder why. Hate you guys. Nothing brings people together quite like hate. Hate. All right, guys. Once again, I appreciate y'all tuning into today's show. We will be back tomorrow live once again at 8 o'clock in the morning. You really got me thinking about this, Tommy, so I'm going to spend some time thinking about what offensive players I would take if my defensive options were gone, as opposed to reaching for a player that I don't think would be good. Like, who would have to be there in order for me to not want to trade away my picks? You got me thinking about that, so I'll think about that. And, like, to me, Jeremiah Love is, like, kind of borderline with it, right? So I'll have to find somebody that really does keep me there, that keeps me in that position where I'm not stretching to do something. Yeah, definitely not trading with the Eagles. Fuck the Eagles. Maybe well, no, we're not going to trade with the Commanders. We're not going to trade with New York either. They're done. We're not doing this. If Mike Tipton's ever the GM, those 4 teams call me, the Eagles, the Giants, the Commanders, and the 49ers, I am not taking their phone calls. Howie Roseman is nope. Tell him I'm not here. All right, y'all. Once again, we'll see you all tomorrow. Have yourself a great Tuesday. We'll see you then.